Okay, let's begin. Iridium background. Cool. Yeah, I've added about another 50 or so backgrounds. Quite a few backgrounds that you guys searched for but weren't there last time. So that will happen a lot. So you searched for a lot last time. You spammed a lot. So I haven't managed to do them all. I've done a good selection of them though. So thanks for the resub, Andy. Very much appreciated. Happy what day are we on? Tuesday to you. On the Copperberg tonight. Okay, so tonight we're gonna carry on with some .cosmos code. I've been working on I'll show you what I've been working on actually. So I think Zappy's already seen this. Oh, actually, he's not seen the intro, so he's seen this. Let me just turn the music down a second. So Steps gave me the intro music today, so I dropped that in and built an intro around it as well. It's really good. I'm very happy with it. Very good job there. Shouldn't the stars be scrolling top to bottom? Yeah, I might make the move. I've only just put them in, so actually, it's probably going to be both. I think. Can you hear the drums playing there? Actually, no, I can't. It may very well be because I did mess around with some of the channels, so I'll check that out. Thank you very much for the sub, Kenneth Mirror. I don't know why that's not showing on my list down here. It should be doing. That's weird. Okay, it didn't show on my list down here. Good job I saw it though. Let me just restart that. For some reason, Stream Labels isn't picking it up. Yeah, so the version of the player that I have actually messes around with some of the channels, so it could just be something simple like that. Thank you very much, Cake Apocalypse. Catch you tomorrow. Off to work I go. Okay, no problem. I should be able to release a new version for you tomorrow as well. So, with all the changes from tonight, so I'm going to go through what we've done tonight, what I've done today, and just kind of extend on it a little bit. So yeah, my focus tonight is going to be to get the intro fully ready. Let me turn the music back up again. And turn the music down on this. I'll sort the music out later steps as well. Thank you for spotting that. I know what it is. So yeah, I did the splash logo, which is very brief, but you can see it fades in nicely. It's not just an image that appears and then disappears. It's built up, which is kind of nice. And then this basic screen. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the stars going that way, but I'm also going to make them go down as well. And so it kind of looks like I'm kind of traveling up and across at the same time. The reason for that is for a start, I don't have the ship facing in any other direction, even though I could probably draw it. I don't really want to do that. Well, let me add points to you all as well. Hang on. There you go. And start the quizzes as well for you. Where's the button? There it is. If you do somebody's name in the chat, if they've got an image, then it will show it. But you have to do exactly the same name that's in the chat as well. So it'd have to be steps underscore underscore. Yeah, okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to make the stars move in a different direction. I also recolored this screen a little bit. It was all one color, so kind of divvied the palettes up a little bit and kind of added a bit of color. I think it looks a lot nicer like that. And the reason I want this screen to be like this is because when you start the game, what I want to happen, this is all sprites. The moving stuff is all sprites. Everything else is characters. So what I want it to do, when you start the game, is to clear these kind of like with like a sweep sort of thing. So they sweep clear, leaving just the ship in the middle. Uh, Same animation exactly, but then a dialogue will appear at the bottom and it will give you the introduction. So it will say, Doc Cosmos is searching for the alien device, blah blah blah. Then when you press start, that will disappear and the ship will kind of sink off the screen. And then when it's gone off the screen, the game will start, and the very first screen will be the first screen of the game, but with the ship landing. So we'll have to change the ship. So there's a few things to do. Might not be able to do it all tonight, but I should definitely have it done in a day or two. And then on the next stream, it'll be the last piece of code, really, which will probably just be the completion. So the completion I want to do. I want to do a scrolling text. So it's similar actually to what I've done on Luma and what I'm intending to do on Pick and Mix. Just a nice scrolling credits screen. I don't really need much more than that. A nice image in the background and scrolling credits. Probably just level snippets or something. I'm not sure. Could even just be a starfield like this. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll work that out when we get to it. Okay, so for now, let's see if we can get the stars moving down as well. It should be fairly easy to do. All we need to do, let's just close this. I'll try and explain what I've done as we go along. So in RAM, I've created a list of X positions and Y positions and speeds. And I just need to basically apply the same logic to the X as I already do to the Y. Sorry, to the Y as I already do to the X. So it's all in this intro code, which is, let me just commit everything I've got because I'm a bit worried that I'll forget to do this. Intro updates. I also found an interesting problem today where, say, well, an interesting problem. Wait, why is that not? What's this M? Hang on. Yeah, I found an interesting problem when I try and run code that isn't in the first two banks. So it caused a bit of an issue. So uh, you've only got audio and chat at the moment. Oh, that's a shame. What's up with the glitch? What glitch? Green screen error? What do you mean? Oh, in the bottom corner down here. It's probably a lighting thing. It's probably a lighting thing. I can probably fix it by moving my light down a little bit. No, not quite. Sometimes it does glitch a little bit. I think I need like a better diffused light than what I've got. So, but it kind of lights me up like crazy. It's quite warm in here with all these lights on as well. Okay, so the intro is just a very very kind of thrown together procedural thing. It's not really doing anything. Well, not that procedural, but it is kind of thrown together. It doesn't really use interrupts as such. You picked that one. There you go. The only thing that should be done to Apple equipment. It's not me, it's the backgrounds. No fixing that under warranty. Right, okay, so what we're doing is we're applying the stars. Where's the update? Star update. Okay, this is where all the stars are actually the details are like the initial values are created. So first of all, I need to change that to actually store here instead. And actually, I need to keep that the same for now. And then I need to duplicate this. I'll do it with this one though. So this is just setting these values up in RAM because we're running code from ROM. We can't use values here. So even though I've got tables down here which set things up, I can't use those tables. I have to use the tables over there, and I can't set them over there because it's RAM, so it'll be empty when I start it. So, oh, I like this tune a lot. I'm going to turn this up slightly because I can barely hear it. So intro stars Y, yes. So that's now storing those values into here. And then there's just some kind of basic setup here. Then there's the ship sprite setup, and then there is a ship OAM update, and there should be a star OAM update somewhere. Star update here, and then with a star OEM update there. Okay, so the star update currently is just doing X. We just need to change this to do X and Y. That's easy. We just do the loop twice. It's the easiest way of doing this. It's called X speed, but we'll just keep it as speed. X speed, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. We're just adding that value to. Actually, should we be adding it or subtract? We should be adding it actually here, not subtracting because we want the stars to go down. Okay. So that's updating the Y positions. Now the Y positions are not being set in the OAM update. So we need to make sure we grab those. Which is also not being set in here either. So I'm going to have to do some trickery here. So I'm going to use BC. Oops. And I'm going to have to use something else instead of C here. We'll use accumulator, but what we're going to do is we're going to push that here, and then we're going to grab it back again here, and then we're going to do the decrement here. This is going to keep the same thing going on, but now we can use all of the various registers and not have to worry about overwriting anything here. So that is our Y position from here. So let's write these on the end. So Y, and then X. So with Y, we have to increment this register ourselves because there's no BCI. And we store that in this register, which is a sprite register, and then we increment that to get onto the next one. Then on the next one, we do X, which we can also increment because it's HLI, and we store it in DE again, or in the pointer of DE. Blue cheese tastes like vomit. Oh no, it really does. Blue cheese is horrible. Blue cheese is disgusting. Parmesan is lovely, although it does smell like vomit, but it is well, it smells like socks actually. That's what it smells. Yeah, it smells like feet. Yeah, it smells disgusting, but it's delicious. Okay. Right. Okay. So that should hopefully be updating all our stars at the same time, right? We've got to do all this in the VBlank area because you can't update sprites while the screen is updating. So yeah, that looks pretty good actually. I like it. And see, because we're going diagonal now, it doesn't look too odd with the ship not going exactly in that direction, especially as it's waving around. It kind of looks okay, which is what I want. And then what we'll do on the next screen, when you press start, it's going to go into yeah, it's going to clear those, and then I think the star direction should change, and they should just. Oh, actually, maybe they should be going up instead. No, this is fine. Actually, this is fine. I don't want to complicate it too much. This is all right. Okay, so the moment what happens when you press start is it just flashes and goes straight into the game. So that flash is the screen update, because we have to kind of fade a screen in and then out, and you can see the ship is already here, and you kind of appear here and just you kind of move. So what I want to do is when this screen starts, you don't see anything, and then the sprite comes down the screen, and then when it lands, it changes for this character on the screen, and then dot jumps out. So that means what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to write a special routine that checks if this is the first time this screen is loaded since the game has been started. And if it has, do this kind of special setup. So that's going to be quite easy to do. You're trying all the backgrounds that you were trying last time. Oh no, Blue Tees is horrible. Anybody who says so is wrong and needs their nose tested. Okay. But before we get to this screen, we need the intermediate screen. So there's another screen just before this one. So if I just get myself killed again and go back, I could restart the game. But let's just. Cheddar is good, but Cheddar's kind of boring, but it is nice. If I ate blue cheese on a burger, the person who gave me the burger with blue cheese on it would die. Yeah, they are zoomed in because it has to try and keep the same aspect ratio to fit the thing, so it's a little difficult to get them to fit exactly. So it does the best it can, but it's never going to be spot on. So there we go, back to this screen again, and then when you press start, you see the flashes, everything kind of appears. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to make it a smooth transition into this screen. So the best way to do this is to basically extend the intro a little bit. So at the moment, the intro just ends here, I think. Yes, the intro just ends here at this point. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to jump to somewhere else at this point. So this is the very last thing we need to do, which sets the screen up and the palettes up ready to jump into the game properly. So we need to call intro sequence, which I'm going to put at the end of here. So I'm working in a nice kind of. Actually, let's make this a separate file. It would be a bit easier if it was a set. Actually, no. No, I'm going to keep it in here. And the reason I'm going to keep it in here is because I need to have the ships still move around and the stars move around and stuff. So I need to make sure that those things are still happening properly. So that means first thing to do is with the intro sequence is to make sure that those stars are still happening. Which means going through. Actually, a lot of this can stay the same. I wonder actually. Okay. No, no, we have to kind of copy, unfortunately. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a whole block of this and then strip down what I don't need, because I do need most of it, but there's some of it I'm going to take out. And I'll probably actually let me refactor some of it first. So let's refactor that. Sinus update. Oh, why's that gone in a string? What's that about? So sinus update is going to just update these positions for the ship kind of moving around. This is a special weight at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. Hang on. Is that big enough? Cool. So this whole thing is repeating on a loop, which we do need some of, but not all of. So um, part of me kind of wants to keep some of this together. So let's. This is ship. The palette cycle. Actually, this whole thing can probably be star update, music interrupt. Yeah, let's get rid of the music interrupt. So just this bit. So ship and star update. Okay, so now by doing that, I don't have to call these separately every frame. I can just do this. That deals with that. Then that means at the bottom, I can deal with this nice and easily now in this bit. Ship and star update. Okay. So the way the intro sequence needs to work is quite simple. The first thing we need to do is we need to clear the text on the screen. So let's create a little loop. Let's call it main loop. And this is the bit that's going to run every time, every frame. This will only happen once per frame because the code in our ship and star update makes sure it only runs once every frame. So that means we can do setup here, and then here we can jump to main loop. Okay, so if I run this now, what should happen is when I press fire, well, nothing will happen when I press fire. It won't go into the game, but it will stop receiving fire things. So you see, it does nothing. But what we can start to do now is we can start to plan our kind of exit from that screen. So that's what we need to do. We need to work out how to get out of that screen and set up the next screen. So to do that, we're going to add some values into RAM. So we're going to have intro transition step, which is going to just be one byte, and we're going to start by setting that to 0. So remember, exclusive or accumulator is the same as load accumulator with 0. .cosmos address, yeah, cool. I'm glad you liked it. It's very good. Let me post a link to that as well. Yeah, so it is up for pre-order this already. For those who don't already know, I'm sure most of you already know this. I've gone on about it like non-stop. And there is a competition to win one of these as well, which is the exclusive kind of custom commissioned .cosmos Game Boy .cosmos Game Boy Color. Yeah, so play the ad. It's on the website. You can check it out there. I'm not going to play it here because I need to get on with the I need to get on with this as much as I can tonight. But I'll maybe play it a bit later on. but yeah, check it out on the website. It is a really cool video. Darren did a good job of putting the site together and putting it all together, and Jamie's done a really good job of kind of sourcing all the well, things like this. I mean, this is incredible. I really was not expecting this at all. Um, but yeah, I'll finish this intro and then maybe I'll play the advert as well. Um, and we got coverage in Nintendo Life as well, which is pretty cool. So I think that's kind of helped to bring some attention to the game as well. And certainly a lot of people are kind of talking about it now as well, which is good. Jamie's been getting a lot of private messages from people, so it's very good. It's very good. Just need to finish it now. We're so close. The testers have been working on it and finding a few bugs here and there, but it's pretty solid actually. It's best selling TVC game of 2021. I hope so. I'd be upset if it wasn't. Actually, I think Infinity's coming out this year as well, which probably is going to kick everything's ass. So, which is an RPG game that was never finished. So, but I think that's Game Boy, not just Game Boy Color. I think that's Game Boy as well. So, um, and just to kind of expand on what I was talking about, like the next machine I want to look at, I think at some point I want to pick up Mega Drive this year. I think I've decided I'm definitely going to go for a Mega Drive game. I don't know what it's going to be or when it's going to be or how big the game is going to be or anything. I don't know anything about it. All I know is I want to do a Mega Drive. So ENIAC make it a challenge. Yeah, that's exactly why as well. I can think because I want to learn 68,000 and I don't want to do Amiga. I really just don't fancy playing doing anything for the Amiga. There's plenty of stuff already on it. They don't need anybody else to do some stuff, but the Mega Drive is good because you're still dealing with 68,000, but you're dealing with very specific hardware, you don't have to worry about memory extensions and it's actually a damn good machine as well. So I'd like to do something on that. I'm not sure what yet, but I'd definitely like to do something on that. Yeah, no ST either. I want a machine that's actually capable. Okay, so we're gonna set the transition step to 0 here, right? Let's do something very, very basic first. So we'll do a ship and star update, and then what we're gonna do is actually ship and star update. Does that wait for the V blank at the beginning or at the end? Let's have a look. I think it does it here at the beginning. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that at the end here. Okay, let's just give that a quick try. And the reason I'm doing it at the end is because I want the V blank to be the thing that's I want to be in the V blank when I'm ready to run my piece of code. So uh Xbox is the closest machine to most of the arcades I emulated in my arcade emulator. Yeah, that's the thing that I find really interesting about it as well. The hardware is not only kind of popular in that it's a 68,000. Everybody's, round about that time, most of the 16-bit machines were some variation of that. With SNES being a weird one because they wanted to try and keep backwards compatibility. But it's also like very, very kind of good arcade wise. It's got an amazing kind of sprites and things. So really want to have a play around with it, see what I can do. Okay, let's see. Hey, Truton is welcome. Hope you're doing well. Cheers. Yeah, so with the Saturday game coming to a close and with this game wrapping up as well, that kind of frees up my Tuesdays basically. It means Thursdays can be dedicated to Checknoid full time. Saturdays can continue to be Mega 65, and then Tuesday is the day I can kind of cycle things in and out of. I can sometimes do additional C64 stuff or some sometimes do Mega 65, sometimes do Mega Drive. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It's probably going to be Mega 65 for the for this year at least, and then after that, it will probably be something else. So, thank you very much for the follow, Green Stack J. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so at this point, we're in the V blank. So in V blank, I'll put that there. So this means we can start messing around with stuff. So what I want to do is I want to start clearing stuff off the screen. So the way I'm going to do that is really, really simple. I'm just going to take the value 0 and I'm going to store it somewhere on the screen. And where I store it on the screen is going to depend on the rows that we have. So if you look in assets, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows that have text on them. So first of all, we'll just do a sweep in one way, and then we'll see if we can flip it round and do it in both directions. So the way we're going to do this, actually, before we get the 0, we need to take a value. So we're going to get HR, and we're going to load it with whatever the screen value is. I forget what it is. I think it's 9C100. I need to check. It might be 9800 actually. Let's get rid of this. What am I looking for? VRAM. There we go. BG maps. So 9C100. Okay, so I need to start at 9C100 here. And then what I need to do is I just need to take the value that's in here, intro transition step, and add that to L, and then put that back in L. Now I only have to do it to L because I know this is going to start at 0, and I know this value is never going to be more than 32 or 20 in hex. So that's all I have to do here to so this is the first screen offset. And then at this point, I can just load the accumulator with 0 and store that in here. Now I need to do this on a few rows. So the way this is going to work is quite simple. I'm going to update these manually and just do this 7 times. I'm pretty decent for code, so I don't need to do an awful lot of first code space. So I don't need to do loops and stuff, which would just kind of make this slightly more complicated because of the way these. Actually, no, could probably do the first 5. I'll do it manually first, and then we'll have a look. So, oh, the colors look weird on that one. Oh, do you know why? Because it's got purple in it. Oh, I need to make sure it doesn't do that. So the problem with the color purple is my overlay sees like magenta, sorry, as completely see through. It's how I get this hole in the thing, and how this is overlaid on the thing. I can show you actually if you see. This is what my overlay looks like when it's just loaded into a browser. So that color is see-through, you see. So anytime you see that color, it's going to be see-through. Also makes my face very red when I do that. I just every NES RPG, JRPG, let's say. See, this is so I did consider doing another Game Boy game or a NES game and going to do an RPG, and then I realized no, because exactly that reason, they all look exactly the same. And I wouldn't want to do an RPG unless it stood out somehow. So not my kind of thing, I don't think. Part of me wants to do a beat 'em up. That's what I'd really like to do, like a Streets of Rage sort of thing on the Mega Drive. But I realize that's a lot of art that we'd need doing for that. It may be a little bit beyond my skill level or beyond what people are willing to help me do. Okay, next job. Okay, so what I want to do is store this and these values here, so this is right in right to the rows, and then I need to update. So on every row, I need to add 2 zeros. So for the first 5 rows, that's nice and easy, right? So I just load accumulator with L, add accumulator 20 to it, load L with the accumulator again. and then repeat. So this happens for 5 rows. Yeah, I will put this in a loop actually. So I'll call this loop 1. Okay, and that's going to clear the top row as we do this. So let's do some checks around here. So what we can do is, before we do this, so this is maybe not in VBlank. So this is where we need to do stuff that we don't care about where it is. So things that don't affect the video register. So this is where we're going to take this value and we're going to do some increments on it. Or we can do it down here as well. So put that, a copy of that here as well. In this case, we want to do it at the end. So we're going to take this value and we're going to, well, first of all, we're going to compare that with 20. Actually, no. There we go. If it's not 20, jump to here. Otherwise, we need to store it back again. Now, this is going to happen really, really quickly. So the other thing we probably need to do here is a frame timer check. So thank you very much for the follow, Vladislav Layanenko. I'll call you Vladislav. It's a bit easier. So we're going to take the frame time, and we're going to end it with 3. And if the value is non-zero, we'll jump to skip as well. That should slow this down. So hopefully now what should happen when I press fire is we should see the top logo disappear, but with a sweep across the screen. Okay, we've got an error somewhere, 640. Have I done? Oh, forgot a comma. There we go. Okay, it's only done 1. It hasn't done more. So we've obviously got an issue, but you can see it deleted the first line of characters, which is what I wanted. Hey, Monsters Go Boom. Hope you're doing well. It could be that the frame time is not updating here, actually. Let me just check the code that I had for that. Which is in this whole pile of stuff, isn't it, somewhere? It's palette, intro sequence. No. Wait, that's this, right? Sinus update, ship and start update. Oh yeah, see, we're not doing a timer update here at all. Wait, why are we not doing a timer update? That should be being done somewhere. It's done in the intro palette cycle. No, are we actually doing that in here? Yeah, we are doing it. Okay. Transition step A. Okay, let me just get rid of this. Maybe it's not hitting that every time. Oh, hang on. No, I can see exactly what the problem is. Oh, no, I can't, because that's... All right. Oh my god, it's so warm. Okay, cool. It's still only doing 1 and then it's stopping. Why is that? Let's have a look. Right, so this is our initialization. This is our main loop, which is what this should be jumping to, correct? This should be cycling through 5 rows, which it is doing, and you can see that it's actually deleting a column on the screen. That's good. Oh, it's a shame. It's not. See, that's cropped loads, unfortunately. Damn it, that's a shame. It is really difficult to find the ones the right size. It's the dimensions. Oh god, that's a terrible joke, Shimmerbot. Terrible, terrible joke. Oh, I may have to change the Monty Python one then. Not keen on that one. Okay, so it looks like we're not hitting this, or this isn't incrementing properly. Oh, that should be jump. That's why. It's that I had the wrong condition there. That's why. Cool. So that sweeps across that way. It's quite slow, so I'm going to speed that up. But now what I want is this stuff at the bottom to do the same, but in the other direction. So um, at the same time. So we're going to do that. And then this time we're going to do another for the bottom rows. Now, I'm going to just do the same as I've done up here, basically. In that I'm going to cycle through, but I'm going to do 4 rows instead of 5. Because I might want to put something there, and if I do, then that will clear as well. Now, I need to start with a value like that and subtract. Well, actually, it needs to be a value like that and subtract the transition step from it instead this time. So our starting position is here, which is 9. Wait, 9DD3. That doesn't seem right. 9DC0. Oh, 9DD3. Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, I know why. It's because the value should be to 1, 3, not to 20. So that one's right, but this one should be 1, 3. There we go. And so here we take can I subtract that directly? No, I don't think I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load that into B. And then I'm going to load A with L and subtract B from A. There we go. And that should do the opposite direction down the bottom. So let's see if that's worked. Oh, oh, because stupid things. I hate this. This is the one thing. One of the things I hate about this is not having the relative labels, like multi labels that Kick has. You get really used to the kind of luxuries of Kick Assembler. Okay, so that missed 1 row at the bottom. It only did 3 rows, not 4. I'm not sure why. Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, what? Wait, what have I done here? I've done something weird. What have I done here? I've done something really odd. Right, that's the first loop. B is the loop counter. Yeah, but I don't use it inside the loop. That's fine. I've done something weird here. Like this is wrong. That should be like this, really. I don't know why that's so wrong, but it is very wrong. I think I copied the wrong area into it. I think I copied something from up here. This bit or something, I don't know. Still missing one here. should be that maybe. Yeah, that should be that. Why is it missing that bottom row? 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be hitting it. Let me try 5. I don't think that's gonna work. Let's give it a try. It's weird to see Z80 SM with. Really? Yeah, it's missing that bottom row for some reason. Couldn't tell you why. Micromans. There we go. Oh dear, Aquamafin, that's terrible. Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. So on this row here, we actually exceed um over the boundary here as well. The carry flag gets set basically. So um I just need to do that. I don't need to do it here, but I do need to do that. Too late. Too late. Oh, you're lagging, aren't you? Shame. I'd already done it by the time you did that. I'll give you 5 points. God damn it. He's not happy unless he gets his points. How do I get? Oh, what have I done? Press the wrong button. He is a point whore. He's a terrible point whore. But it keeps him happy. It keeps him happy. And I like to keep him happy. There we go. Perfect. So that's exactly what I want at this point. So now what I can do is I can now use the fact that we're in this state to display something else. Keeps him off the streets. Yeah. Um, I mean, technically, the points are supposed to be if you help me. If I haven't seen your message and I work it out myself, that's not really helping me. But I'll let you have it. Okay, that's cool. Right, so we're at this stage. Again, enter is doing nothing here, which is good. Enter is our start button. So one thing I did with the the kind of booster on the ship was I did it by where is the where is it? There it is. So I just created 4 different sprites and it just flicks between these 4. It just cycles through them really quickly. So it creates this kind of flickeriness. And then what I'm doing is cycling through these palettes. So these are the palettes that I have here, and the ones on the right. These are the sprite palettes. Oh, that didn't help. It made the window bigger, but not the colors. So I drew the sprites in this this column of colors here. So it cycles through all of these basically, just one at a time. So you can see if I pause it, you get grey and purple and stuff, and it creates a nice nice little kind of fake flame sort of thing, which looks all right. I think looks kind of nice. And it meant that I didn't have to change any of my sprite palettes as well. I could just keep the sprite palettes as they were, and it just happened that this column was kind of nice enough to create this effect, which is good. The only other palette that changes here is this one, this shades of grey in the background palette, and that's for the press start text. It's got a little kind of palette cycle going on in it just to make it look nice. You've got so many palettes. Yeah, it is kind of nice. This is one thing that's been really nice about the Game Boy Color. Actually, it's been a really nice step up towards doing the Amiga. After doing the Commodore for so long and being stuck with 16 colors that I had no chance of changing without switching regions. It was nice to suddenly have a system where I could change the palettes, and I started kind of learning how to do art in in square pixels with multiple colors. And then that's kind of led on to the Mega 65, which has been nice, which is kind of why I want to do the Mega Drive next, because I think I can just about get by on a Mega Drive now. Um, Also, I want an opportunity to write some music for the Mega Drive because I think what is it that it uses some Yamaha chip, doesn't it? I think. Um, Forget the name of it now. It's a famous chip. I know that. I kick myself when I see it. Uh, YM2612. All right, it's not that. It's not that amazing, memorable name, but I knew it was a Yamaha thing. But it's got a really good synth on it. So I'd kind of been learning the keyboard as well. So I'd like to learn something on that, create a nice composition on on the keyboard, and then translate it over onto the Mega Drive as well. I kind of want to either do a beat 'em up or I want to do something that's a bit more kind of like a modern sort of game. So you know, like the kind of don't starve. I like the survival games at the moment. I think Mega Drive could be really good for it. I can't remember if it has flash RAM or a battery backup. I think it does have battery backup, doesn't it? I seem to vaguely remember some games having that. Or am I thinking SNES? It would only work with battery backup. Some carts do. Yeah, okay. So if I can save to the cart, then that would work really well. Otherwise, a survival game would be no good. So hope the Mega Drive starts with a music code. I'll be trying to find a library to do that. Rare and expensive. Ah, okay. Well, back then, all right. Um, Yeah, because the other alternative is to do it on the SNES, which was much more common, I think. I definitely remember lots of SNES games having backups, SGDK, lots of stuff. Okay, cool. Sega Genesis Development Kit, I guess that stands for. Cool, I'll have to look into that. I think you posted that the other day in the chat, didn't you? I shall look that up. But every time I look at the hardware for the Mega Drive, it makes me drool. So I do fancy having a go at that. Um, I kind of want to avoid Z80 if I can. I know that sound is Z80 on the Mega Drive, but I'll try and use a library for that. Yes, I realize Mega Drive is Mega 65 is better than Mega Drive, a lot better. In fact, I think the Mega 65 is probably the best 16-bit computer of that era, even though it's an 8-bit computer. It's that good. Um, but I do want to learn 68,000, so I do want to learn 68,000, and I think it's the right machine for me to learn it on rather than trying to learn it on the Amiga or the ST, which have their own kind of weird things going on. I like the kind of closed system that the consoles provide. Right, okay. Right, so the next step is to try and pop a dialogue up here now. So at this point, we've started the game. So I want to pop a dialogue up here, which I can just pop up on the bottom here. So let's go back to the intro again. So at this point, we've completed this first part, so now we're going to jump to intro sequence 2, which I'm going to put here. And we're just going to drop through into this. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to compare. Oh, we're already doing it kind of here, actually. Jump if 0. So if this is correct, oh, we can just do this. We can just jump straight to. Hopefully that will work. Let's try that out. So then all we need to do is just repeat our thing again here. I'm going to keep these in place. We might have a setup here. I don't know what we need to set up, but we probably will need to set something up here. Tabs don't work very well as well in this VS Code. I don't know why. So my project set, my project setup space is 8. Is it set like that? Y8, that's just weird. That's better. Okay. Uh, I'm sure there's plenty of libraries out there to do that for you. I really want to kind of avoid doing the people remembering last time. The Heart of Gold always made me laugh because it always looks a little bit weird. Um, and I tried to find an interior shot of it, and the only interior shots I could find were very, very blurry, obviously taken from old VHS tapes, and I refused to put the modern film. The film didn't, it doesn't exist, so the film doesn't go on there at all. Um, okay, so let's put that there. Okay, so this should. Oh, one thing we definitely need to set up here is I'm doing. Um, oh, actually, is the ship self doing it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay. Oh, it won't matter because it's on a window. All right, so we're going to call a die. Okay, this is fine. So one of the things I am doing is, and I'll show you this very quickly now. Is this text here is an odd number of characters. So I could either increase the space here or here, like I've done with press start, which kind of looks all right for press start because it's, you know, 2 5-letter words. But because this is different size, you know, different 5 5 and a 7, um, changing the spaces, the only one you could probably change is this one, but then it just pushes them both to the edge. So instead I just scroll that section over by 4 pixels. It seems a little bit overkill to do it that way, but it was the easiest way of kind of managing that without kind of making a whole new section of the font just for the copyright message at the bottom. But what that does mean is that at this point in this loop, it's still shifted over by 4 pixels at the bottom. However, the dialogue is not using that scroll window. It uses it uses the dialogue window or the window. Um, so now we need to know how to bring it up. So from what I remember, and it's been a couple of weeks since we looked at this, the dialogue has, yeah, it has some information about which dialogue is open and where it's pointing to. So what we need to do is first of all look at the map loader, because that shows us how to load in a map. But part of the map screen that loads in is the dialogue stuff as well. So you can see here, dialogue screens. Okay, so that's being pulled from in here somewhere. Dialogue screens, here we go. So this is 8 bytes, and if we have a look at the map data itself, okay, we have 8 bytes here as well, which point to the actual dialogue data. So this is the data we need to store basically into this area of RAM, dialogue screens. So this is quite easy to do, I think. Let's just copy that temporarily into yeah, we'll do it here. Okay. Call it intro dialogue. And we have to have all of this data in here. So copy dialogue data. And we can copy that from the map code, I guess, whatever that was again, which I've lost now. Yeah, there we go. And that needs, so HL needs to point to intro dialogue. So cool, and that's going to copy those 8 bytes into our dialogue data here, which is just a temporary place for any given screen to load in one piece of dialogue. However, the dialogue itself is, I think it's part of the export. Yeah, here it is. So it looks like this. So let me just copy one of these in. Call it intro dialogue text, and then that goes here. So actually, can I just put, yeah, there we go. So now we're creating a pointer to that dialogue. And this is the number of pages. So this is 2 pages because it's separated like that. So this would be like that. 1 extra page. So it's a number of pages minus 1, and this one isn't used. There is no trigger rectangle, so we don't care about those bytes. So this is all we really need for this intro dialogue. And then I should just be able to call open dialogue. Just move that over here, which I think is a macro, actually. I think I've got it set up, yeah. So let's try that. Let's see what happens if I just call it here, what happens. Open dialogue not defined. Oh, this is probably to do with the order that this is loaded in. Oh, this is really awkward. Oh no, dialogue is there. Oh no, intro is. Okay, let's move intro to the end. Hopefully that should solve that issue. Yeah. If I cared enough about Z80, I would write a Game Boy assembler that was along the lines of Kick, because I think it needs it. This is so much more difficult, unnecessarily difficult to use. I guess. Oh, the background. God damn it. There is, I've said this to Steps before. There is another secret Christmas one. I'm not going to tell you what the words are for it, word or words, but there is one more in there. I don't care because I don't have to see them. I look straight ahead, so I don't look up and see what the background is. If it actually appeared behind me for real, then I would be bothered. Like if my wallpaper changed on my walls to whatever you said. Basically pass kicklight source and output normal ASM. Yeah, I would I'd like to give it a go one day, but maybe not yet. I wonder as well if there is a good assembler for 68,000, because I really want to have something as good as Kick, or something better than this. This is just not good enough for me at the moment. VASM. Okay. I need to look into the various ones and see which has the best support and which one has the features that I like. Kick is just full of so much goodness that I've got used to it. I couldn't find one, Shannon. VSM, I guess you mean there. Bass has a lot of good, but it's not Kick. Okay, yeah, I think I've seen you post that before, and I think I had a look at that. So maybe that will be the one I go. Thank you, Polymars, for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Let's catch up with all my stuff over here. Right, okay. So hopefully now we should see a dialogue, which I don't. Okay. So the question is, oh, pardon me. Why am I not seeing a dialogue? So let's see if we get a break there first. It could be we're just not hitting this point down here. So let's put a break here. It's 2 buses. I like the fact that you're determined to find this the other Christmas one now. You just need to think about Christmas. It's related to Christmas, but I don't want to give too much away. Anyway, there we go. It's reached this point. Okay, I know what's going on. It's because what we don't have is a dialogue update. So we have we should have a dialogue update somewhere. Where it is though. Let's find out where it's called. Init dialog, update dialog. Okay. So init dialog should be called from in here, I would imagine. No. Let's have a look. Where's init dialog called from? Okay, so init dialog is called here. So let's try and move that. Let's do that there. Does support scopes, just not as nice as Kick. Yeah, Kick is really good. There's a few things I'd like to change in Kick as well, but generally it's very very good at what it does. And I get that a lot of people don't like it for various reasons. You know, they're used to doing 6502 in a language, in a version of, in a syntax that they've been using for 20 years is one. It's got a Java runtime, which I think is kind of a weak excuse nowadays. It's you know, there's open Java runtimes and stuff. So, but for newcomers, I think it's a brilliant assembler to use. So, okay, so that's the dialog initialized. There should be an update here. Now I don't know where this is being called from, so I need to find out where that's being called from. Polymars, who just followed actually. Uh, Sorry, just trying to fill this. Why is that not filling in? What's going on there? Thank you very much for the raid, Polymars. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow, 19 Winter SP as well. How's things going? Thank you for the follow, Polymars. I saw that, and then the raid came in. So, what have you been up to tonight? Your science and technology as well. Awesome. So, what have you been? What have you been coding? If you have been coding, maybe you've been doing something else as well. Because I know we get some electronics people on here as well, on science and technology occasionally, right here. Yeah, look at Dwight there. It's not quite Christmas though, is it? So, uh, Santa Claus would be far too obvious, but yeah. Mr. Tom Blue, hey, you come from a raid. Good to see you. It's making a swing hangman game, I think. Oh, cool. Okay. So we're just putting the finishing touches to Game Boy Color game that I've got coming out this year. It's available for pre-order now. Let me post that link there. So it's a Game Boy Color game coming out in June. You can pre-order it now. We're just finishing it off now, really, just building the intros and stuff for it. And on that site, you can also enter a competition to win this, which is a custom .cosmos commissioned by the publisher. Game Boy Color with a backlit LCD screen, brand new LCD screen, glass as well, cover instead of plastic. New amplifier in it and a brand new shell on it as well. Very very nice little piece of kit, and definitely well worth the £5 I think it is entry for a ticket. So yeah, very 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 nice. Assembly, am I right? Yes, you are right. It is assembly. This is Z80. I say I put it in inverted quotes because it's not quite Z80. It's the Game Boy bastardization of a Z80, which is this horrible thing. So um, yeah, I do prefer to do 6502 normally. So this is not really my wheelhouse. I've only been doing this for about a year, I think. This, and even then only on Tuesdays. I've only coded Z80 on this stream since the middle of last year sometime. I say only a year. I mean, it's not really a year, is it? It's like 3 hours on a Tuesday night for what episode is this? 30 something. So 100 hours. But it's plenty. It's enough to learn what you need to do. I've learned that the language is terrible and I hate it. So that's all I needed to know, really. Yeah, it's a lifetime, but 6502 I have been doing for a lifetime. So dreaming Z80, God, that would not be nice. I would not enjoy that. Right, where is this update dialog being called from? So I'm trying to figure out where that is actually being called from, and I do not know. It keeps showing up in here. Okay, that should not be on. There we go. Oh, it's called from the interrupts. Okay, so I would assume that this is getting called. Let's put a breakpoint in here and see if we get to that. Let's go and get rid of this breakpoint now. So I would expect this breakpoint to be hit, but it's not. And the reason it's not is because we haven't got interrupts set up yet. And we haven't got interrupts set up because they're set up here. Do last so everything is configured. Okay, that's kind of irritating, but let's see what happens. I'm just going to blank that out there. Let's see what happens if I set them up here instead. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we shall see. Thank you, Mr. Tom Blue. Thanks for joining. Thank you for the follow as well, Caesar Live. Welcome. Okay, now it seems to be working. Okay, but we're still not hitting that dialogue for some reason. Eldritch is determined to find that background. I'll give you a clue. While it is related to Christmas, it's also technically not related to Christmas. It's just another thing that you could type in that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Christmas. And the other clue is somebody already typed it in the last stream. That's why it's there. Scared of assembly now. I come from C#. Yeah, I did some C# back in the Xbox 360 days in XNA, doing some stuff with that. I like C#. It's nice. It is nice. I just never got to do very much with it, to be honest. I would like to do more with it though, maybe. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Just a bit wondering what the hell's going on here because for some reason I can't get the dialogue to open. Everything seems to be fine though. Let me just check that I can get into the game correctly because I'm a bit worried that by moving things around I've broken some stuff. So instead of doing this loop here, I'm just going to return from this. So hopefully this should just jump straight into the game. Ah, and there's the guy that helped me do it as well. Yeah, Bronco 78 helped me do the XNA game. He did all the 3D work and texturing for it, and, testing and such and such. Oh, okay, right. So we definitely do have something weird going on here. Now, is that because it thinks we've got a dialogue open? So let me try and close this dialogue. Okay, no, there's definitely something weird going on here. And I think this is to do with the way that the interrupts are set up. So what I'm going to do, where this original interrupt was set up, in here, I'm going to call it again. And hopefully init interrupts does LCD stat B's blank. Where's the init interrupts? Is that in initialize? But it's an initialize. Yeah, okay, so there's an enable interrupts here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is as soon as the intro is finished, so at this point, wait, hang on. Here, I'm going to disable the interrupts, which actually they're already done there, so that doesn't matter. Okay, it's not that. That's the music. It seems to be this. It seems to be that that's causing the problem. So I might have to just call the update dialog manually myself, which is not a problem. Good place, yeah. It's the yogurt shop, Froyo place. Okay, there's something weird going on now. Okay, let's get rid of the init dialog from here. I've got to be really careful that I don't screw too much up moving things around, which it seems to be what's happening at the moment. So I have no idea how you joined the stream, but I have. Welcome, McDev. You probably came with the raid from Polymars, I'd imagine. But welcome. You're very welcome. Oh damn! Yeah, we're getting issues here now. This is this issue because we're going into this part of the intro. Maybe if I just return here. No, okay. There's definitely. It's annoying me because now I've kind of broken something somewhere along the way, and I can't get back out of it. I can't get into the game properly now. So let me do return here instead. No, broken something. Damn. It makes sense. I really like watching them stick around. Good, good, good to have you. Happy to have you here. Okay, right. So we need to fix getting into the game first. So I think this is going to be something here. So I'm gonna slowly back out of what I've done, checking everything as I go along. Did you change? No, I haven't changed the interrupt vector. You can't change the interrupt vector. It's a ROM thing. You have to point it to somewhere and then have that deal with things. Okay, let's just try that. Okay. Okay, that gets us into the game. So let's go back to here again. Let's turn that intro sequence back on, and let's turn this one back on. But instead of doing anything, I'm just going to immediately exit with this return here. So I want to make sure I get into the game. So yeah, this is assembly, yeah. Cool. All right. We're kind of getting some, yeah, this is Z80 Z80 inverted commas, because it's like it's Nintendo's weird well, actually it's Sharp's hybrid that they used in the Nintendo Game Boy. Yeah, the bastard son of Z80. It's kind of like the love child of 8080 and Z80. With like just some weird stuff in it. It's really an odd chip. And I don't like Z80 anyway. It's not a nice language. Z80. No, Z80. I'm British. I was watching John Oliver last night, and I realised that he's been in the US so long that when he does when he shows the number two with his fingers, he does that. He does that. Whereas a Brit will always do it that way because that's rude, right? But he's been there so long that now when he does two, well, it may be just because of his audience is mostly American as well, but he does the fingers forwards. Yeah, how wooed. Yeah, exactly. But to an American, that's nothing, right? It's a British and French thing, and other kind of I guess British and French colonies that see it as rude. It's kind of funny. Um, okay. Okay. So this seems to kind of work, but let me just try running the open dialogue again. So I just want to get in there. Singapore. I've always wanted to go and see this place. Never been. I want to go and see it. It looks amazing with the walkways between the towers and stuff. Okay, that's all good. Right. So now uh let's try and update dialogue in here. So this is in the V blank at this point, and this is not in the V blank. So if I do call update dialogue, which is this routine here, add dialogue is called by the macro, I believe. Open dialogue, yeah, calls call dialogue, which actually it doesn't. Add dialogue. Where's that being called from? Okay, let's worry about that in a minute. Oh, okay. So we're kind of getting something, but the window position is wrong. That we can fix. We're missing some characters, I think, that make this up. So we might need to do a font switch, or we can update the font that we've got with the data from the other font. So we can copy between fonts, right? So if I open, what was it going to be? It's going to be, this is the one. Yeah. So this is the font that we're using at this point. And you can see the characters are here, and that kind of matches this. That's fine. But we've got an error here. It's showing something completely different here. So let's just open up our tile map. Okay. So this is our actual tile map. I need to open two windows. So this is the one we use in the game. And this should have, you see here, this is where where these pieces are, which at the moment these are not loaded in. So this is going to be a fun little thing to sort out. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, so here's our intro, and we just need these ones putting down at the bottom, or we can recode the. No, I'm not going to recode the dialogue to use a different set. I'm just gonna. I've got loads of room on the cartridge, so I'm just going to copy this. So that needs to go basically here. Yeah. Annoyingly, this program does not let you copy areas unless it's a square. Um, like you can't draw a rectangle around some stuff and copy that. You have to copy individually like this, which is actually, it would be easier if I just did this maybe. Because it really doesn't matter about that other stuff. I can delete. Oh, oh, what the hell? Actually, I will delete around it just to make it neat. You can see how awkward this package is. It can be a bit of a pain to use, to be honest. I think it would have been quicker doing it the other way, to be honest. I've wasted loads of time. Whatever. All right. Okay, so now we've got that logo there, but now we need to copy that in because the font, the copying was different on this one, I believe. Not that one. What is it now? Can't remember how to do it. Damn it. All right, never mind. Restore palette. intro palette cycle. There's a font copy somewhere in here. I can't remember how to list up the function names, so I'm just gonna have to look. Intro palette. Should have split this up actually. In intro fonts. Right, here we go. Copy intro font. Okay, so this only copies one half of the font. So it's copying 800. Now the font is bigger now. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can do it through here. Yeah, it is terrible. It is really bad. Again, that's why I made my own. But the problem is, I made something that was very specific to what I was doing. It was no good for doing logos and stuff. So I had to kind of revert back to YYHR. Yeah, but you're right. It's bloody awful. So what am I looking at? Assets, logo. Here we go. So 2048 bytes. Oh, actually, that is the right length. Okay, let's just see if it's there when we go onto the main screen. Choice 707. I might dropped some other line in here somewhere that I shouldn't have done. Oh. That's a sprite. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh well. I missed out on that now. But yeah, that would have been a really good idea actually. But then again, at the time, I wasn't really thinking about Asa Sprite in the way that I do now. Tiles. Here we go. Oh, so actually, you can see. Wait, where's it getting all of them from? Let me just close this down a sec. Not sure where it's getting that font from the second half, but it seems to already be there. Yeah, it's already there, so we probably didn't need that at all. It is there. Look, see it. The question is, why is that dialogue showing up the way it's showing up then? Because this is it's missing all the surround and everything. Yeah, it's got this section in here which is in order for some reason. Open dialogue. Okay, do I have to do anything when I say open dialogue, or do I just call open dialogue? Let's have a look. Okay, no. No, it just opens this dialogue for that screen. Oh, hang on, we're not on a particular. Here we go. Oh, we just do that. We don't need to call open dialogue. We just call dialogue. So that it doesn't do any of this stuff. Because if you died on a particular screen, it would probably end up doing something wrong. Man, so warm. No, it's still wrong though. Okay, let's take a look at the VRAM and see what's going on here. So if we look at the background map, actually it doesn't show us the window. That's annoying. Okay, that is quite annoying. It doesn't actually show us where this is. So this is being drawn in what is essentially another kind of. Oh, actually, maybe we can do it in here. Yes, there we go. So this is the what's known as the window, and you can see it is trying to draw. Oh, okay. I think what's happening here is some stuff is being pulled in from elsewhere. So this row is 9866, but you see that's there. This is kind of strange. This should have a border around it, but it's not. Tile number wise, it hasn't got a tile number around it, so that's wrong. So it's kind of not drawn it quite right. Huh. Okay, let me think. So this is our main screen, which is blank, and this is where, yeah. So this is where our window screen is. Oh my god, that's a terrible. The jokes get worse, don't they? Thank you to Mike Dev for the follow and Void Runner S for the follow. If I haven't already said so, I realised they were 15 and 20, 10 minutes ago. But thank you very much. Stairs blocking Shimmerbot, yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is the window. This is what's happening. We seem to be getting some weird scroll artifacts over here. I don't know what that is about. If I turn, so it seems to be in the right place, but we've definitely scrolled over. Now this could be the screen X and Y values that are in. Hang on, they're in FF42, aren't they? Hang on, FF42. Without the space. Okay, so these are our scroll values here, and I think that's the scroll values for the main window. So let me go and have a look for GB dev. Yeah, I'll do. No, that's tutorial. I don't want that. I want the docs. 1 second, Andy. It's going to be Andy. I know that. So just give me a sec. Yeah, that's why I pointed at this one here, but I don't think it's that. I don't think that's enough because that's not to do with the. This is the window, not the actual. It's a different location basically. So, I mean, let's get rid of it and see what happens. But I'm kind of not convinced that that's going to work. I think we need to set a window position here because it should be independent of the screen position. Because you want to be able to scroll the screen but keep dialogues in the middle. I'm on the wrong bit. Here we go. So yeah. I mean, you're on the right lines, but I don't think it is the. I think it's the. I think it's the one I don't have. I haven't changed. Not the one I have changed. Intro sequence. God, the code is so messy. It's what you get for throwing stuff into it today. Here we go. So you'll see now that the copyright logo at the bottom is going to be shifted over. So it's shifted here. Okay, it's brought it slightly over, but it's still not right though. Okay. And if I press on that. Okay. I don't understand why that would affect it though. Because that shouldn't affect that should affect the dialogue differently, so tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add that as a intro scroll X offset. Preferably without all the typos and capitals in there. I mean, I don't care if this is hacky because this is honestly at this point it's really just about getting this finished. This is such a kind of all the important step. The only user interaction here is pressing fire a few times. That is it. So I don't care if it's too messy. Obviously, I don't want it to be like stupidly messy, but I don't mind taking shortcuts because I've got lots of memory to spare. Um, so I'm happy to do that here. So right, let's do that there, and then when the dialogue comes in, we will change it. Right, so we'll change that here to -4. No, we'll do -8 actually. Assuming it can deal with mine. I hope it can deal with minus numbers. I'll be very very annoyed if it can't. Hey, old school coder, how you doing? Okay, so minus number does nothing here. It's a bit frustrating, but let's see if we can find a value that does work here. Okay, so this is being repeated over and over again. So if I find out where that value is, God. Really? Oh, just put, there we go. D5EF. All right. Close all of these. Luigi Valheim. Still my favorite background, that, I think. That or the Doom Eternal one. I kind of like the Doom Eternal one as well. Okay, so if I go into here and I go to D5EF, so it has put the negative value in. If I put 0.8 in here, you see it doesn't affect that. It doesn't affect it. That's really weird. Only if you do half values. Thank you very much for the gifted sub, Bliplop, to Osick Boy. Very much appreciated. Thank you very, very much. Huh. So what happens if we put like a large half value in here? Not much difference, actually. Let's put something random in. What? No, that's just not making any sense at all. That brings it over that way. Wait, so would that be in the middle? No. Doesn't make any sense. Night Cordosaur. It's a value from 0 to 7. Well, it should be any value, basically. It's the show you, it's this offset here, you see. So I don't know if you can see the screen. It's probably kind of hard to see at that size. You see this white square here? That's our scroll window, basically. So if I set it to 0, 0, you'll see it goes back to here. No, it's 0 to 255. So I don't know why. It's there's something really odd going on, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. So let's have a look at where stuff is in the font, right? So this is where our font is, and this is where our dialogue boxes are. And that should be correct, because if you look on this side, this is the old timeline stuff, and that kind of matches, except for the fact that this is obviously in the wrong place. But the characters are correct. The numbers are in the wrong place though, but the characters themselves are correct at that point. But we don't have to use numbers at all in this section, so it's fine. But what bothers me is that these bits are not showing correctly. Now, it could just be that they're using the wrong font, maybe, because they look black on here, the wrong color sort of thing. In fact, let's have a look at the palette. I mean, shouldn't be. Let's have a look at here. See, the tile numbers are wrong as well. Missing follows. Tipoya, thank you for the follow, Tipoya. Welcome to the stream. Huh. Okay, well, we're kind of there. Let's see. Does the dialogue behave? Like, okay, it doesn't flick onto the other page as well, so I kind of feel like something's not quite right on that. I think that's the problem here, not that there's something not quite working properly on the dialogue. So let's take a look at what we actually need to do. So open dialogue does this kind of setup and skip some areas if we're on the first screen and things like that. So that's not that. Call dialogue does this. Oh, I wonder actually, because it's not in the V blank. So maybe if I move it into the V blank. Timing issue. Yeah, you might be right here. If this is right, this is a 10 pointer. This, I think, if it's a timing issue, but it's not. It's not. So we're doing the same thing now, but we're doing it in the V blank, and it's still a problem. So maybe we need to init the dialogue. So let's do an init up here. So let's do init dialogue here, which should, I think this is setting the positions up here, so that might be enough actually. Dialogue border, yes, actually this is drawing the border and everything. Boom, there we go. Boom. Okay, so the only thing I want to do before this happens is I want to restore the font. Not the font, the colors. So I'm going to do call set BG palettes. It's going to keep the dialogue the same as the other one. So it should be a yellow dialogue now, except we're not seeing anything here. Okay, so calling that is a problem at this point. Okay, let's go and have a quick look why that is the case. So in the dialogue we do, sorry, in the intro, after all the setup, oh my god, it's such a mess, this thing. It's in a terrible order as well. Everything's all over the show. Set BG palettes, restore palette. I think it's this one that I need. But this needs to happen while the screen is disabled, I think. So let's do a call wait V blank. Doesn't like us setting those palettes for some reason. If I get rid of that. Also, it means I don't need this scroll offset either. I am going to put it onto 0 because we're going to reset the scroll offset at that point. Hoth. That's frustrating. That's frustrating that suddenly works again. Do I need to initialize? No, I shouldn't need to initialize at all here. Call init dialog. Let me try calling that here instead. I mean, I don't know why that would make any difference, but oh, okay. Well, that kind of works, but it's being called at the wrong place now. So the reason why that's happened is because it's trying to set values while it's still in the screen. Anytime you see kind of graphical corruption like that, you should think of that. And really, I should have thought about that kind of first with the dialogue. But oh wow, still not right though. Wait, V blank, set BG palettes. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not working at that point. Well, I mean, we're getting some interesting colours, but it's not not getting what we want. Let's get rid of all of that. Let's go back up to the previous intro sequence. Maybe not in the V blank here. No, it should be here. This is where we should be doing it. Just gonna have a look at set BD palettes. Is set BD palettes in a different bank or something? That's a possibility as well, I guess. I mean, no, it's in this area. Oh, it needs a value set. Okay. Should do it now, I think. Oh, who guessed that one? Well done. That's a new one of the new ones. Oh, wait, hang on, that's not right. Oh, I know why. We need to load the accumulator with one. Well, actually, it's to make sure we're in the right mode for the dialogue. Otherwise, it's going to show us the 0, which is old mode, because we haven't set it up yet. So okay, so almost there. The problem is now is the background, black background, is not right at this point, and that's because the middle of the screen is being colored in with zero palette instead of somewhere else. So this is, again, this is quite easy to fix, but I do need to unfortunately go and change a load of numbers somewhere. So that's because we're using this palette here for the background, wherever there's space, basically. So the logo was up here. The stars on either side of the text was here. And then the rest should be filled in with color 1, really. So that actually means I probably need to do some just slight tweaking of the palette as well. Hang on. So this purple here probably needs to be changed. I'm hoping I can do this without messing around too much. Let's have a look. So the moment it's using this, I need to use something other than this one for just for this section. Yellow is probably all right, actually, because yellow. Yeah, let's go with yellow. That's going to work as well. So so we're going to fill everything in with 1 where it's a 0. And that is in assets, which is this here, and it's this block here. So all of these zeros in this section need to become 0, 1. Uh, so I'm not just doing them all. There we go. So this is going to change the color of the text on the first screen. It's going to be a yellow instead of a purple. But actually, that looks all right, and it actually makes this look better as well. I think that matches. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's good. Sweet. And then okay, so the dialogue doesn't close doesn't behave properly for some reason. So let's have a look at dialogue update. We just need to figure that out, and then I think we're almost there. Yeah, it does pop better, doesn't it? The yellow stands out a lot nicer, I think. The problem was I was trying to copy the purple on the box, but I think I think the yellow is probably better anyway. So, and it fits in with the rest of the text in the game as well. So, uh, Andy's so proud of his AMK points. He's well ahead of everybody as well. Okay. Okay, so let's think about this now. Okay, I need the dialogue to close, probably like update when the buttons are pressed. So we're getting the buttons here, but it doesn't seem to be advancing through them. I'm definitely not seeing this second piece of text here, even though it tells we're saying we do have extra pages here, and we are pointing to this text, but it's not displaying. So the update is definitely happening. We're definitely looping through this. So let's give it another try. Hey Warlock, thank you very much for the resub. Appreciated. How's everything down there in sunny or rainy or whatever it is at the moment, Australia? That really does pop more, doesn't it? I like that. We've still got the gradient on the star and the text as well, so it still looks okay there. Sunny there now. It's kind of weird here. It's been sunny and it's been snowy. It's been a bit of everything. Approve of the new colours. Cool. I'm glad you like it. Sunny with spiders. Yeah, that's Australia for you. Okay, so why? So this should be on the A button, I think. No, it seems to be on the A button. I think is that the A button? Yes. All right, but it doesn't seem to update. It doesn't seem to draw the new text. So I'm missing something. I'm wondering if it's this add dialogue. No, check dialogue trigger. No, that's to do with whether you hit the box on the screen that has the dialogue in it. But the dialogue comes up, so I press A, and now it should be on the second page. And if I press A again, it disappears. So it's actually hmm, it's actually moving to the next page, but it's not advancing the text itself. So I need to figure out why that is the case. Maybe there's another value I need to reset somewhere. Call dialogue. Okay, no, right. So here's where the update dialogue happens. Dialogue in. So the dialogue has the button has been pressed. Oh, actually, we don't know if it's been pressed there. Dialogue get button. That's just debouncing the button. Fire pressed. Here we go. So it uses the debounce. Okay, so this is what it does. It decides. Oh, it does call add dialogue. So am I not? Maybe there's another. Maybe there's another value in RAM I'm not loading in properly. Let's have a look. Dialogue state, dialogue position, debounce, text address, and the dialogue screens here. It's going to be one of these, isn't it? It's definitely going to be one of these. Because the dialogue out is working, so it's definitely it's responding to the buttons, but it's just not showing the second page when it needs to. And so that should be based on this. Call add dialogue, right? So that is skipped over here. If dialogue state. Okay, so let's check on dialogue state. So we should expect it to be not animating. Oh, which is this one here. Maybe it is. Hang on. In animate out. Upper 5 bits of dialogue state contain the number of additional pages. Okay. I feel like something is not being set up correctly, and I'm not sure what it is. So this was normally what we would do. We'd come through this system, but that just calls call dialogue, which doesn't do anything else. It just calls this. Everything else is loaded in at this point. Dialogue state is set. Dialogue initialized is set. Text address is set. Dialogue screens is set. Oh no, that's grabbed and stored in text address. Dialogue screens 4, which is number of pages, which is those upper 5 bits. Okay. So what is stopping it from drawing? Okay, let's see if this is getting called. I would hope that this gets called twice. It may not even get called once. I don't know how it's being called. So I'd expect, yeah, so it's getting called here, which is the first time. Then the dialogue comes up. And then when I press the button, so it's getting called a second time. So we are getting into here. But we're somehow, wait, 9872. No, that's correct, actually. So we look at the background map and we put it on 9800. We can definitely see that, yeah, this is our location for drawing the arrow. Yeah, 9872 is correct. It's the correct place to be drawing. And you can see it's not drawn anything anywhere in here. It's left that blank, so something's missing. During normal gameplay, the freezes when the intro is to movie overwriting a value. No, I don't think so. So I'm gonna work my way through this. So let's see. There's something being skipped somewhere. I'm wondering if it's this thing here. This is where the rows are being drawn. So if it was missing all of these, it jumped to skip 2. But it's definitely getting to this. It has to be getting to this. Thank you, Jenna Telya, for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. This beautiful Tuesday evening that seems to be about 400 degrees in this room. I've now spent probably 3-4 hours practicing piano, and I've got the first 12 bars of Dire Dire Docs down now. Where's that? Sun on Venus confirmed. What are you on about? Oh, you're on about the background. Hull. That's hot. Yeah, I can see the towers in the background actually. Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, I'm miles away. Not making the connection. It is really warm. I don't know why. Okay, so we're hitting that breakpoint as well. So now I'm going to step through and see what the hell's going on. Because according to this... Oh, wait, hang on. That's... Oh, yeah, that loads the address. Oh, this is the first time through. So this is definitely going to work. We know that. Because that's why we get the dialogue down here. Then when I press this, we're broke here again. Let's step through. 9821, yeah. accumulator is loaded with the value 17. Let's go and have a look at what's in those locations. So tile 17 is the letter W, which is correct because wait, well that was, oh yeah, what the, yeah, see, it should be saying what the, so W is correct at that point. And 9821 is that location there, so that should be storing that value in that location. Maybe it's a H blank thing, but I'm not sure. A dialogue, yeah, maybe actually. Update dialogue. Okay, let's see where the update dialogue is happening. Well, I mean, it shouldn't matter because it's in the bottom here. It's in the V blank. We can check that actually on here. We can see line is at 90, which is 145. So it's right. It's right off the screen. It's in the V blank. So oh wait, where's it gone to there now? Oh damn it! All right, I have to run it again. It looks like things are working correctly though. But for some reason, this doesn't seem to be posting anything to the screen at the right place. So the first one does. And then the second one brings us to here, right, which is the same place. And if we skip through, we get 17 in the accumulator. D is pointing to 9821. So we would expect to see, let's put another breakpoint in here, which is where our loop is. And run this, and we should get another break on the second character. Okay, so we're on the second character, 9822. So this is a H, so this should be like 08 or something, which it is 08. It's yeah, it's pointing to the wrong bank. I think it has to be a bank thing. I think it's just stuck in attribute mode. So I think if I, although I'm sure it would have kind of screwed the fonts up, but oh my god, where is it? There we go. Not that one. Doncaster. You can't really see Doncaster because my head covers the cathedrals there. South Park. Oh, South Park is there. Yes. Who guessed that one? Was that a guess or a redemption? Ah, it was a guess. Yeah. Doncaster. Well done. I'm always pleased when you guys figure them out. Okay, so there's page 1. Press the button. There we go. So it was just the banking was in the wrong place. So it was actually banking to an attribute map instead of. So I'm surprised it actually still looked all right and didn't kind of change all the colors and stuff. So okay, so the only other thing that I'm not keen on here is the fact that the stars are kind of appearing behind the panel there. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to add another little routine at the end because I'm not keen on that at all. Actually, no, it doesn't. I mean, it's such a short. Hold on. Nah, it's fine. It's fine, I think. And then when you close that, we move into the next section. So what we're going to do is we're going to check here. We're going to load the accumulator with dialog state. We're going to compare that to 0. And if it is 0, we're going to jump to intro sequence 3. And intro sequence 3 is where things change a little bit. So I'm going to copy the main loop. We're going to have a setup, but we're not going to have this in. But what the setup is going to do is basically we're going to create somewhere that just shifts the ship down a little bit as we move. So I don't know if we've got a player ship in here or if it's actually set directly. I think it's set directly. Oh, no, we've got ship. Oh, no, they're constants, damn it. All right. Okay, so we need to change this a little bit. So I'm going to split this into a few sections now. Okay, so we have a ship OEM update here. And the ship OEM update at the moment isn't adding anything extra into the Y here. So what we're going to do is we're gonna add an extra step into this now. So we're gonna have intro ship offset Y, and that needs to be reset to 0 at the beginning. So when we initialize, we were kind of already doing it there, but I'm going to keep it there just in case I change the value for whatever reason. So what this value is going to do, this value is going to move the ship down the screen. So that means we need to find the OEM update again here, and we need to add that value. Can we add directly? I bet we can't actually, can we? But that's fine. What we can do is we can load accumulator with the value in there. Load B, that. Don't think B's been used anywhere else down here. No, okay. Now, we are going to have to do some extra checks in here as well because there are some already some Y additions in here. You see here. So actually, I'm going to do that. No, actually, I'm just going to do. That's going to be fine because that will set the carry. Okay. That's the flame. Okay. So now if we increment this value in here, we should be able to move the thing down the screen. But what we're going to have to start doing is when we reach a certain point, we're going to have to draw sprites off screen somewhere. So what will happen is they will wrap around to the top, but because we're only drawing from like maybe a third of the way down the screen, once the sprites the Y value of the sprites gets to be less than this kind of top barrier here, so it's in this area, it means the sprite has gone off the bottom and has reappeared at the top. At that point, we'll just move that sprite off into the top corner so you can't see it, or we'll change the pointer for it or something. And when all 7 of the sprites that make up that ship have happened that do that, we've gone off the screen completely and we can start the game then. Right. Let's get some cider in me. Oh, the Millennium Bridge. That was the one that they built it with the wrong resonant frequency, didn't they? So when people walked across it, the resonant frequency of people walking on it caused it to wobble, and the wobble caused people to walk in sync. So as they were walking across it, they were correcting themselves because of the wobble, but because the wobble was happening at the same time to everybody, everybody corrected themselves in the same way and basically made everybody walk in sync on a bridge at the same resonant frequency as the bridge. So it was like super, super dangerous. Um, I think they had to build. I think they built like shock absorbers into it or something on some place to change the frequency, uh, so it wouldn't happen. But yeah, craziness, craziness, and it cost a fortune, that bridge as well. Uh, Stupid. But yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I wouldn't call it a tradition. I think there's just like one nursery rhyme. That's it. And I'm not even sure what it's referencing. That I wonder if it's referencing the fire of London, uh, or the plague, or something like that. All those kind of old English nursery rhymes usually refer to some horrific thing that happened in our past. Oh, Ring a Ring of Roses is definitely the plague, isn't it? Yeah. So I wonder if there's going to be like a coronavirus nursery rhyme that comes out that all the kids sing at school. It references it's taken down somewhere. Oh, it was literally about the guy buying it. Okay. Yeah, isn't it like somewhere weird, like Kansas or something? Ah, Warlock, you've discovered a niche. Get in there quick before someone beats you to it. The coronavirus anthem. Okay, so in this sequence, we'll set up this value. I mean, we've already set it up at the top, but I'm going to set it up again anyway. Uh, it's probably the right place to set it up here anyway, but let's do that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is every couple of frames, we're just going to increment it, and we'll just see how slow it moves down the screen and get that right. And then once we get that right, we can look at timing the rest of it. So let me just find. God, it's so big this file now. It's ridiculous. Really should have split this up, but I've kind of reached the point of no return now. I don't want to change it now. So I just keep going on and on with it. uh, Skip ship move. Which we'll put here, and then here we're just going to do grab this value. Uh, oh no! Point of no return. You're on Mars. Yeah. I was reading that his girlfriend or wife. I don't. He's not married her, has he? It's just dating her, I think. But she said that she wants to live on Mars. She actually wants to go to Mars and live on Mars. I mean, okay. the promo for .cos that she put it on SpaceX Mars ship on the SpaceX. Oh, on. Ah, cool. So it does go up, but it's going to appear at the top again. There we go. But what we can do is we can, in fact, it goes completely off the screen before. So actually, we can speed this up. Yeah, she had the pack tattooed in white. Oh, thank you, Warlock. Thank you, Robert. Robert Nemiek, 1994. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, she had a back tattooed in white, which I actually kind of like. I do like what I've seen a few white tattoos before, and they do look kind of cool. But it's got to be. It does look like a scar. That's the thing. It does look like a scar. So it has to be done really, really nice. I kind of like what she's done. I think that's kind of a cool tattoo. But it is. I must admit, it is unusual to have something that big. I've usually seen like little tattoos, not huge, huge ones, but they do look like scars. That's the weird thing about it. Personally, I wouldn't want a white tattoo for that reason. In fact, the only white I've got is the Finnish flag. I've got white in the Finnish flag on my arm. Um, okay, so actually, I think maybe it can move off pretty quickly. It doesn't need to be slow at all. There we go. Cool. And then this obviously it goes off the screen, but at this point we can say, okay, now what we're going to do is at this point here, we're going to again load this value. Actually, we can do it here. It's fine. We can compare that to, I don't know, a value where it's moved off screen somewhere. So if we say, well, it starts at 80ish. So if we say 70, that's probably the right position. And then if that is equal, so if it's 0, then we jump to intro sequence 4. And intro sequence 4 is basically, for now, we'll just return, but we might need to do some cleanup here. So we'll just do a return at this point. But there may be some cleanup we need to do. Actually, I think we're already doing. Oh no, we're jumping, aren't we? We're jumping into the next sections. Okay, so this is probably right. They don't know if SNL landed. It was foggy. They're still searching for it. Wow. Okay. Okay. So yes, definitely need to do some setup here because the font is completely wrong at this point. We need to wait a little bit longer. Probably wait for V blank before we return. So let's go and change those. So let's do 90. Let's do wait, V blank. There we go. Okay, why is it doing this now? This is weird. Because if I don't do all of this, like if I just come up to intro sequence 1 here, just immediately return. Then it loads correctly and I load into this screen. So one of these sequences is breaking things. So let's figure out which one it is. So sequence 1 seems fine. Actually, we don't know because it went straight into the game. So let's try sequence. Sequence 1 is going to play out now. So that's sequence 1. That's fine. Okay. So now we'll let sequence 2 play out. That was a weird noise. Okay, so opening the dialogue seems to cause some issues. So let's take a look at what's happening in the dialogue. Okay, so we've got a palette change, we've got an init dialogue. Um, so let's try call init fonts and call weights feedback. Of course, it's a weird noise from Mars. I wouldn't want to hear anything. You wouldn't want to hear any noise, would you? Hey, there we go. Right. Okay. So I think all we need to do is that at the end. So let's move this down, which is fine. We would expect that. Uh, okay. That's good. So the only thing we need to do now is the final setup, which is when the intro stuff is done, but we need this very first screen to behave differently the first time we come in. So the way we're going to do that is on in RAM. First of all, we're going to have a value which says intro complete, and we're going to set that to 0, and we'll set that at the beginning up here as well. So whenever the intro starts, it's going to reset that value to 0. So just catching up on messages. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So the intro complete set is 0. That means when we come into the game and the player starts, actually, where do we call player start? Maybe we can do it in the main thing here. Okay, so here's our intro. Let's group this all together so it doesn't get lost. That's our music. This is the main game. Init player happens here. Map draw happens here. And then our main loop is here and our music is here. So actually we can probably do it here, I think. So let's put a breakpoint in here and see what the screen looks like at this point. Because we can probably just add to the intro sequence for this. Okay, so actually the screen is not enabled at this point. So because we're in white. Okay. Our screen is in this white color here at the moment. Okay, so hang on, let's think about this. Yes, so the palette fade index here, we've already set that to say, we are starting at 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call intro sequence 5, and we will add some stuff to the intro. So let's just get rid of some of this crap that we don't need. Right, so intro sequence 5 is a bit different because now we're actually in the game routine. So we do need to do things a little bit different. So first of all, we need to call this fade from white. And that's because the main loop always tries to fade from white if we're not already on the correct. Pardon me. Evening, Skunk Monkey, welcome, and Druid as well, welcome. If we're not already on the correct palette, it will try and fade to the correct palette from the white palette. So that's what this is doing here. I'm going to put a call wait for V blank here as well. Actually, no, I'm not. What I'm going to try and do is just take a quick look. Okay, so interrupts have been enabled at this point. We could do this then instead. So we're just going to use the same routines as we do in the main loop, because we need to basically duplicate what's happening in that main loop and may refactor that into a kind of wait code or something as soon as it's repeated. But for now, I just want to see if this works. Put our main loop here, and then this is going to fade from white. So at this point, we're just going to jump back to main loop. So what we're trying to do here is emulate the main game loop, except without player control, without anything that would normally be in the game loop, but enough so that the screen displays, the HUD displays, all the things that need to display, but we can control kind of the rest of what's going on the screen. So one of the things we're going to control is the spaceship here. We're going to turn this spaceship off, and we're going to use the ship draw routine to draw it coming down. We may again have to duplicate some of that code, but it doesn't really matter because I've got quite a lot of room left still. I mean, this is in bank 0 or 1. I can't remember which one, but it's in one of the early banks. And I think we've still got like 4K slack or something in here. So find the end of it. Yeah, so yeah, 4.25K slack. So plenty of room to do this. And I only really need to do the completion after this, and the completion is going to be super simple compared to this. So it's really just a scrolling message over a background. That's it. The background can be anywhere in memory. All the assets can be somewhere else. It's just the code would need to be in this lower back. But okay, let's give that a try. Oh, okay, so we've got an error 801 on the intro. God, 801. Oh, why did I do that? Intro sequence 5. Wait, what? 796. So I pasted it again. $796 in intro. Wait, what? It is there. Oh, damn it. Sometimes it's not easy to see. Amsterdam, yeah. There you go. Okay, cool. So it's faded into the screen. It hasn't drawn the player, which is perfect. But it has drawn this here. So the first thing we need to do is we need to remove this ship from the screen. Now we need to put it back again, but for now we can just remove it. So that's going to be fairly easy. We can just kind of grab the values from that location and kind of put them back. So first of all, let's get the ridge ship values. We're just going to store them here. So the reason I'm storing these is so it's just easy for me to put them back at a later date. So those values are 5C, 5F. So let's write these down. 5C, 5F. So what I'm doing is looking at these tile numbers here. E9, ED, EE, EF, E9, ED, E9, D, EE. Yeah, right. So when we're finished with this loop, when we're finished with the thing landing, we will restore those values to these locations. Um, but before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for V blank again. Again, remember we have to wait for V blank every time we change anything in the visible area of the screen. So anytime that we're drawing anytime the raster is in this area, we can't change anything. We'll get corrupt values. We have to wait for the raster to exit into the borders um, before we can do anything. And the biggest chunk of that is the V blank, which is a big chunk at the bottom of about 16 lines or 24 lines. I can't remember the exact number. But there's a good old chunk of time down there to do stuff, and because it's never in the visible area while it's down there. Um, okay, so the address is 92A, and then 2 on. Okay, 92A. So we're going to get the values here. Let's do it up here. Sorry. I forgot already. God damn it! Terrible memory. 92A. 92A. Right, and this needs to go into 6 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and those places are going to be B, 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 and 2, 4, 6. Right, so this should hide the ship now. Okay, I think we're going to finish this in time tonight. Just about, I think. I will go until it's finished. It's not far off now. I need to write the right text for that, but otherwise it's okay. Cool. So there is a little bit of a weird flash as it goes into that screen. I just want to take a quick look at that again, see how that works. You're figuring out all the backgrounds now. So watch for the flash. So there was like, yeah, I'm not. I want to see that when we come out of the screen here. So I'm going to do return from that. It's like it's like some of the values are not quite right for some reason. So the values are right when I do that, but they're not right if I just jump straight in and do the fade from white here, which means probably at that point one of the palettes is wrong. So let me put a break point in here, and let's take a look at what we've got. Yeah, the zeros. It's just a life counter for the debugging. It's for the testers to help. And I set it to 0 because I wanted to test the game over. So okay, so let's take a look. So there's a breakpoint here. Let's take a quick look in the video RAM at the palettes. Ah, okay. So for a start, this white is wrong. That white should not be there. That should be well, you'll see actually when I start. You'll watch that white there. Oh, hang on, that's sprites. No, that's correct actually then. Because that will fix itself in a minute. Just trying to see where it goes wrong. There's one frame where it just seems to be. No, it looked all right that time, didn't it? Okay, let's put a breakpoint in here as well. Just trying to figure out. There's one frame where it seems to be wrong. So was the ship supposed to be? Yes, yes. I've turned the ship off for now because I'm going to. Oh, why is that? Oh, I can only call it once in the function. Oh, that's weird. So strange. Wait, what? I can't call it in here. Oh my god, really? Yeah, so I've removed the ship because we're going to animate a sprite down into that position before we actually restore the ship. Okay, so it kind of looks all right. I can't make my mind up what's going on here. So let's get rid of the brake again. I keep seeing like a weird flash when I do it without the brakes. I see a weird flash. I was just trying to work out where that flash is happening. Maybe it's not happening where I think it is. Okay, so we want to move off screen. Oh, I think it's sprites. I think it's the sprites. I think it happens before this sequence. So I think if we do it here and we do take the value 0 and load HL with, oh god, what is it, 9? No, yeah, FE00. I think it's. I've got to look this up as well. I am not DMA. This one. I think it's FE00. I can't remember that actually because it's showing the. OEM address, yeah, FE00, right. So if I take that location and then load B with 40 times 4, which is how many locations there are, and then do a loop, and then I do load HL A and then decrease B and jump, if not 0, to the loop, should hopefully get rid of that glitch. I think it's just the yeah, I think it's the the sprites from the stars as they move down. That's better. Cool. HLI, it means it's the same as doing this. Set rolled into one instructions. I think it's the equivalent of that. I think it's what it looks like in most assemblers. It's like use HL and then increment it, post increment it. So I'm just making sure there's no glitch here again. That was good. That was good. Cool. All right. Okay. So next thing to do is we need to draw that ship and make it move down in exactly the right place. So we do have a ship draw routine, which I think is probably not going to be suitable, unfortunately. In fact, we're going to have to use. Oh, I can't clear all of the sprites. That's the thing. So I have to. Where was I doing it? So I cleared them all here, but I should really be clearing 33, not 40. So I want to keep because I need to keep that the ship sprite as I come down, and then I need to grab the routine which draws the sprite, which is this one here. Okay, which is grabbing from the sinus steps. So actually, I can use this. I can use this. Cool. Okay. Nice. This is actually a lot easier than I thought. Okay, so this is waiting for the frame ready. Then this is doing the fade from white. And then we do the wait v blank here and then call ship OAM update, right? But before we start that, if we set the values in these step X and step Y to values, we should be able to position the ship anywhere we want on the screen. So let's just put it in the middle like that, and then set our ship offset Y to 0. Right, so now we should see a ship somewhere in the middle. What we'll do is we'll position it so that it's on the platform, and then we'll just increment the value until it reaches. Oh no, okay, that went horribly wrong. Oh, why did that go horribly wrong? Okay, could that be because we're wait for v blank? Yes, I think it's this, isn't it? Let's get rid of that a second. Oh, okay, something weird is happening here. Let's not wait for v blank. Almost right, but the player appeared momentarily there. But that's fine. I can work around that. Okay, so this is probably because of the numbers that we're using. So actually, I am going to change this, and I'm going to call it ship because I just cannot be bothered making a new one. You know, making it flexible. I'm gonna cheat here. Um, oh, actually, right. So what this is going to do, this is going to force our kind of location for things. So we're going to use the last 7 sprites in the list this time, or the last 8. It doesn't really matter. We'll use this one here, FE80. So if we set that to FE80, um, and then in the setup, which is this bit here, ship sprites. Here we go. We can do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this, call it set ship sprites, paste it there with a return. And then that can just be the same at the end here, see? FE80, so that would be here. So then the only other thing I need to do is make sure that this is happening in the right place. And I think that might actually be here instead. I don't think it really matters though, because I think the palette fade is also in the right place. So let's take a look. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Something is not quite right. but we have some progress. Okay, so it's using it's using the right sprites, but the sprite pointers are pointed to the wrong things. So let's just have a quick look at our setup sprite routine. Set ship sprites. Here we go. Okay, so this should be pointing to the correct locations here, but for some reason it's not doing. It's for the intro, but then after the intro it kind of screws up and doesn't work properly. So these are all pointing to the correct location. Could this be to do with call OAM copy? Here we go. Transition intro complete. And if that is 0, then we're going to skip OAM copy, because the OAM copy is going to overwrite anything that we do. It's going to use DMA to basically change what we're doing with the sprites anyway. So this should override that, and as long as we turn it off properly at the end. Quake 3 background. I need to get rid of that glitch down there. It's annoying. Okay, it's still not correct. Okay. Let's disable the interrupts when we go in there. Let's just see if it is an interrupt thing. So let me just turn that off a second. As soon as we come into this routine, I'm just going to disable the interrupts because I don't want any interrupts to cause any issues here. That might be enough, actually. Just disabling the interrupts may be enough to stop it from causing any issues. Okay, so yes, we've got a ship in place now. That means an interrupt was definitely causing this, but obviously the fade is not working now, and that's because this is no longer triggering. So what we can do instead here then is we can do our wait for v blank manually at this point instead, and get rid of this bit and this bit. I guess we don't need the random timer either here. So Stephen Hawking, the Quake Master. No, don't remember that. What the hell is that game? That looks really familiar. That looks really familiar. Oh, no. I haven't played that, so I don't know why it looks familiar. Okay. It definitely needs those interrupts. There's something happening in those interrupts. This is the weird stuff I was on about. Um, let's take a look in the interrupt. What would cause those changes? So what do we have? We have this is our entire interrupt here. Okay, so we do have some fades going on. Ricks based on the fade timer. Shouldn't be that though. I would have maybe thought it was something to do with this OAM copy. Animate doors, no. This looks suspicious though. Let's just turn that off. Let's just get rid of that as well so it doesn't get confusing. Turn that off and come back here and re-enable that and re-enable that code as well. Get rid of that. Doom. I like how you guys are just going through all your old ones. I do always add some extra ones on as well. Nobody's found the extra Christmas one yet, have they? Either. Yeah, okay, so the OAM copy is definitely the issue. So we've got some other sprite issues here where things are kind of in weird places off screen. So we probably need to resolve those as well. Now, I would say that this is how they should be resolved. So I don't know why that's not working here. So instead, what I'm going to do, I am going to. Oh wait, actually, this is because this should be now like that because we've moved it. All right, getting there. We're getting there. I will finish this, even if it takes me another half an hour. I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to go later than 1 a.m. though, but I'm hoping to finish it in the next 10 minutes. Okay, so we've definitely still got some issues around here. This is being called on an. This is what is causing the sprite overwrite. If I turn that back on, I just realised, and nobody reminded me. Ha ha ha! I didn't compare the flags. There we go. Oops, pin that to the taskbar, and I didn't want to do that. I'm not allowed. You are allowed. You are allowed. That's your only job. That's your only. That's the only job I want you to do with the listen, is the flags. Okay, this is good. Okay, this is working. So, but basically, I just need to move these other sprites. I don't know why they're appearing there. Let's take a quick look at the OAM. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's this one here. That is weird. Oh, why is that not being reset? Okay, that is kind of odd. Um, maybe we need to call this once at the beginning. Okay, let's try that. So we wait for vblank, then we're immediately going to call OAM copy, and then we're going to set everything up. Boom, there we go. Right, so let's adjust this now so it's on the pad. So that's going to be, well, it's going to be 8 across, isn't it? And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down as well. Okay, that's kind of nice. It makes sense, I guess, because they're characters on the final thing. So this should be on the pad. Cool. That's exactly where it needs to be. So now the next thing to do is just to bring it into the screen now. So that means we need to set this value here in ship offset, so it's up here somewhere, which will actually be down at the bottom here. So the ship itself is 3 characters high, so it's 24 high. The screen is well, we're 88 down the screen, so we need to be minus 112. So if I do layer 8 with minus 112, we shouldn't see the ship at this point. We don't. There is a little flash of sprites. I did see a little flash of sprites, which I'm not too happy with. Um, we'll address that in a minute. That's a small thing. If I can get this working, then I'm happy. That can be a little bug I fix tomorrow. So uh, okay, so right, all we need to do then is move that value down the screen. So at the moment we're just doing this, loading this value here. Um, But what we should really be doing is on a frame timer again. So we'll take this value here, and we'll end that with, let's end it with 3 for now. It may be too much, but let's end it with that. Let's put a skip here. So that's what we're going to jump to if this isn't 0. So jump, if not 0, to skip. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to increment this value here. So we're going to increment A. Actually, oh, we need to test it. Can we hang on, how can we test this? Oh, sod it, I'll just do it again. I don't care. I can't even be bothered looking it up. I just want to do it. I know that this can be done differently. I realize that, but it's really not necessary. So are you guys just looking through the the last stream's background things, because you really are remembering everything. Um, yeah, as Andy says, you can win one of these, which is a really nice custom commissioned Dot Cosmos Gameboy Color, completely brand new shell screen, LCD panel, backlit IPS LCD panel, new amplifying circuit inside to make the sound nice and loud. The screen also has like a multi profile mode where you can tap the IR receiver on the top, and it will detect that you're kind of covering your finger over it, and it will change between them. I think there's about 6 or 7 different color profiles on there, including like black, white, and muted, and warm and cold and stuff like that, and then standard, which is like very bright and colorful. Very cool. But yeah, the game is really close now. We just need to do a completion, and I need to work through the bug list as people play it. So, but it's looking pretty good. BG beer, that's a good one. Yeah, I should put beer in there. Actually, did I put wine in? I can't remember if I put wine in or not. Also, cider. Why haven't I put cider in? Okay, so why am I incrementing the frame time? I shouldn't be incrementing the frame time. I should be incrementing this value here. So I was right. I wouldn't be messing with this at all. Okay, and then at this point we can compare A to 0, so we can do or A red if 0. Or actually what we should do is jump, if not 0, to skip. Then we can load accumulator with 1, load that into intro complete. And then we can return. Okay. Fingers crossed this should work from beginning to end now. Okay, whoops, wrong button. Okay. So there's a dialogue. I kind of want to fix those stars. I might do that tomorrow. Okay, there's a ship coming down. Now the ship is appearing behind things. So first thing I need to do is I need to make that appear in front of things. So that's pretty easy to do as well. If I go, I can just change these values. Actually, the ship should always be in front of characters. That's weird why it's not. Set ship sprites. Here we go. Oh God, I can't remember what the priority one is. I think it's that one there. Or is it that? It might be that one, actually. Yeah, let's set that one. It better not be this one because I'm changing them all. So okay, so there is a little bit of a flash when we come into that screen, but that's fine. I can fix that tomorrow. That's kind of almost there, but now what I need to do is I need to draw those characters back. So these characters that we removed from the screen, that I stored in this here, these original values, I need to put them back into here. So in this section here, okay. So the way we do that is nice and simple. Uh, it's going to be lots of this. Oops. God, this. I'm not that keen on Visual Studio Code for assembly. I'm really not. I think it's better for kind of the bigger things. Assembly, not so much. I definitely prefer Sublime. It's got that kind of simple, but very well kind of tailored approach to code. Doesn't need anything particularly special. So, oh, did you just work that one out? Oh no, you didn't. You discovered it. Okay, yeah. Don Draper's thing. Yeah, that's. I think there is too much going on, and it's trying to be too. It's trying to be too clever with things like tabs and stuff, and it's kind of it causes more problems than it solves, I think. Okay, so that's a little bit slow. I'd prefer that to be a bit quicker. And the player spawn position is now kind of a little too high. I need to bring it a bit closer and stuff. But you can see that's kind of almost there. So to speed it up is really simple. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that completely. I think it can come down much, much quicker than that. Mega City, was that one a redeem or no? You discovered that one. And again, you're just trying it. Yeah. This is why though. This is why I do this. So I'm glad you're finding them. It's funny how it's become so much about the backgrounds now. Sweet. All right. So just the little flash I need to fix. I will do that tomorrow. Hey, Robot Project, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm just about to end, I think. I'm just going to move this player a little bit when it spawns. But generally, I think we're done now. I'll just play it a little bit just to see that the game over and I can repeat things and that nothing's broken. And then I'm going to go to bed. So probably about another 5 minutes or so. Okay, so player spawn position is here. So I'm going to nudge the player over a little bit. Thank you very much, Anton, for the bits. Appreciated. Very much appreciated. Okay, so I'm going to move the player over 16 to about 80, and I'm going to move it down to 80 as well. So it's just going to be up and a little bit to the side. Should look a little bit like he's kind of coming out of the ship. It doesn't need to be too much, but it does need to be close to the ship. At the moment, it's too far away. Might need to go down a little bit more actually, because the player's not as high as the ship. So yeah, just going to nudge him down a little bit, and then we're good. And the cool thing is the completion is basically the opposite of that. So the completion will be, I mean, I'll even just put it in the intro sequence because it makes sense for it to be in that file, even though it's part of the completion, which is when you come in from this side after going through the final door and grabbing the green key and going through here, and you're making your escape. You'll come onto this screen, and the moment you touch the ship, at that point, you will disappear, the engines will start up, you'll take off, and then we'll basically do the whole thing in reverse. And it may be that I just have the ship floating around on one side of the screen while you're going up with credits moving up the other side of the screen, or something like that. I'm not sure yet, but it will be along those lines, I think. So let's just try and play a little bit, just make sure it's working. So first of all, I'm just going to try dying, make sure that the game over sequence works still, and that takes me back to the beginning, and then that again takes me back to the game. Yeah, so it's just that flash that I need to fix, but other than that, it looks all right. Everything's reset correctly. The keys are reset. This door should be reset. Yeah. Okay, so next thing to do is to try changing timelines and then dying in the new timeline. It's too hard to die now on this screen. It used to be too easy to die. Oh my god. Let's just go down to the spikes or something. There we go. Make sure that continues on. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do quickly while I remember is just make sure the text that it shows here is correct. So in the original game, it kind of spoke in two different. Sometimes it was third person, sometimes it's first person. In this one, I'm trying to actually no, it still talks in third person sometimes when it's describing the controls. Um, it's a good point actually. All right, let's do it in third person still. Okay, so uh, uh, finally has trying to make these dialogues fill out a little bit. Doc, planet on his map. Add another one in here, so we need to add an extra page here. If he can find the time device. Another one. There we go. That'll do. Okay, cool. So quick dialogue at the beginning, just to say, play your Lumen port from the Mega 65. It's amazing addiction. A lot of fun. I was able to get my wife excited. This means a lot. Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, it's a fun. It was definitely a fun game. Um, what I found really impressive with that game is we made pretty much the entire thing in a 16-hour stream. So there was a little bit of tidy up that I had to do the next day. I think it was maybe a quarter of it I had to tidy up the next day. But all the maps, all the graphics, all the game was well, all the kind of core of the game was written on one stream, and we had an online. So before the stream started, I knew the game concept that I wanted to do, but I had written no code. But I wrote an editor for the maps. So I wrote a little JavaScript editor. I put it online and let people use it during the stream, and that allowed us to basically you made a map and you verified it. So you basically had to make a map and then you had to complete it. And if you completed it, it submitted it to the database. And then that gave me a list of 128 levels that people created, and we put them into the game with the number of moves it took the creator to complete them in. So then what we did is with three or four of us tested it. It took us 2 weeks to test it. That was what most of the time was spent on. Where we went through every single level to see how many moves we could do it in, the least number of moves we could do it in, and then we adjusted all the levels based on that, and then we gave them difficulty scores and reordered them, and it was a whole thing. But yeah, the impressive thing is that it's such a community-driven game, and it turned out really good. It's a fun little game. I mean, that would be a good candidate for Mega Drive, but that's a bit too simple for me. I want to do something ambitious. The only reason I did that one was I wanted to see how easy it was to port something to the Mega 65, and it turns out it's incredibly easy as well. So there we go. So I think that's it. I think I'm going to call it a night there tonight, guys. I'm going to get this sent up off to the testers so that they can kind of test this with the additional stuff, and I'll do that tomorrow. I'll try and fix the glitch in here as well. But this is looking pretty promising. I think we're very close to having this finished. Really, just got to get the completion done and just go through the testing and basically as much polish as I can get into the game before the deadline. So um, I need to find out the exact hard deadline, but it's not far off now. So yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that stream. Very productive. I haven't been to the toilet the whole time. I'm kind of squirming in my seat now after drinking 3 ciders as well. Let me find someone to raid. Farrell's on. Let's go and raid Farrell. I don't know what she's playing. Looks like Mega Man actually. I think it's Mega Man. Got you motivated to do some artwork. Awesome. Awesome. Always glad that I motivate people. Always surprises me when that happens. So yeah, cool. And your artwork is really good as well. So I'd be interested to see if you want to collaborate on a Mega Drive game and you've got some ideas. Let me know. I'd like to do a Mega Drive game at some point. So anybody who's willing to kind of do that sort of stuff, great. All right, let's go and raid Farrell, and I shall see you guys on what have we got on Thursday? Thursday, probably just going to do Checkanoid again. I think I need to get those particles in. It took a long time to not get them in last time, so let's get them sorted. Let's get everything kind of done and dusted before we kind of step into anything else. Okay, cool. See you all on Thursday, guys. Bye.